What is going on, guys? I'm Nick. Welcome back to the channel, and we are going straight for it with another case for the iPhone 16 Pro this time around. And this one is going to be one of my all-time favorites. If you guys have been a fan of the channel, you already know who we're talking about. It's going to be Caudabe, and we're going to start off by looking at their Sheath case. This is one of my absolute favorites, and honestly, when it comes to Caudabe, it is extremely hard for me to pick a favorite of all their cases. I absolutely love them all, but let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting with the packaging as always. So you get this really nice matte black box with all of these high gloss kind of hexagons going through Caudabe right in the center, and then down here you'll see the name of whatever case you decide to get. So of course, here it's going to be the sheath as we work our way around. Really not too much on the sides. You do get that classic minimalist perfection on the left side, black on the top, and then on the bottom, you can see that this is going to be the sheath for the iPhone 16 Pro in black. I do have some other colors that Caudabe was nice enough to send over to me, and I'll go ahead and show you guys those in a second. Here you go. This is going to be the back of the packaging. I'm going to go ahead and cover a ton of this as I work through the case, but you can go ahead and pause and read if you would like to. All right, so now we can go ahead and just move on into the inside. So this is just going to be a little sleeve that we can go ahead and put up over here. And now, Caudabe, the same thing over here. You're going to pick this up, and it's going to be a little flap. And there is the sheath in black for the iPhone 16 Pro. And we'll go ahead and set this to the side for now, just so we can finish up in here. So this is actually pretty similar to what we've seen in the past from Caudabe. Not too much up here. You do get a little bit more information. Of course, same as it was before. Pause and read as you would like, but we can go ahead and set this to the side now. Now this little pamphlet, it does show off a couple more things that Caudabe covers, some accessories that they offer as well. But this is other stuff that I can go ahead and cover if you guys would like to see that in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and set this over here as well. And now we have the actual case itself, and it comes with some really nice new features that I'll talk about in just a second. But I want to take a look at the inside. The inside of the sheath is one of my absolute favorites, and it's got to be because of this really nice kind of microfiber lining that they have going on. It's super soft and definitely going to protect against any kind of scratches or anything like that. Now, before I put my phone in this case, I want to show you guys the other colors they have going on, because they are some very nice ones. Of course, they did keep that nice kind of rich blue, and they have a kind of muted gray over here in my right hand, and this would be all three of them lined up next to each other. So we've got the black in the middle, gray over on the right. It definitely looks a lot lighter than I first thought it did, especially when it's next to the black, and then we have the blue. But of course, for me, I'm probably gonna end up sticking with the black. I'll probably end up tossing on. I'll actually go ahead and leave these over here just for now. But I probably will end up rocking the gray every now and then. But now that we've taken a look around here, I do want to go ahead and snap my phone in here. We have the iPhone 16 Pro in black titanium, and we're going to snap it in right here, starting with the volume sides as always. And there is the case on. A very sleek and definitely minimal case when it comes to the look, and I absolutely am obsessed with it. Now, Caudabe is saying they have a new refined fit and texture to the sheath, and it is definitely noticeable. Something else that is new about this case would be these new aluminum color matched buttons. Absolutely incredible buttons, and I'm going to give you guys the sound test as always right now in just a second. But let's go ahead and start talking some protection with the camera protection. So of course, we do have a pretty large set of camera modules on this phone, but Caudabe did not forget about that, and you can definitely see how that lip does come up above those lenses, and it's definitely going to be protected. Now, before anything else, we do have to go ahead and get the wobble test done right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Starting down at the bottom where you're normally going to be typing, you can see, whoa, I was going a little crazy there. There's really no wobble or anything down here that's going to be noticeable. But of course, as you work your way up there, especially in that top left corner, you are going to experience a decent amount of wobble. Again, that isn't really something that Caudabe can do. there's really nothing for them to do about that. It's just because of how large these cameras are really getting. But let's go ahead and move over to the front to see that front lip. So of course I do have a tempered glass screen protector on this phone, but you can still see there is a decent lip going all the way around the front of the camera of the screen. It definitely does seem to be pretty minimal in my opinion, but for me that I am running a screen protector, it's kind of normal to see this amount of protection, and you can definitely feel, or if I show you right here, you can definitely see that the lip does come above the screen. You don't have to worry about putting your phone down on any kind of flat surface and it getting scratched up. You can do this all day long and my screen is never going to be scratched as long as I'm on a pretty level surface like I am here. Now, I do want to talk about the fit. Of course, Caudabe does not disappoint, and you can see that if I pull pretty hard, I can get the case to kind of separate from the phone itself. But okay, maybe right there by the buttons we have a little bit of flex, but it's definitely nothing too crazy. Right here, super rigid at the top, no pull at all, and down by the USB-C port, that's normally where we're gonna see some pull happening, and it's not really there. Even with this little extra added lip, you can definitely tell, or you would maybe even expect to see some extra pull here, but there just isn't. You can see my thumb right there. You can see how hard I'm pulling. I'm barely getting any kind of give right there. So super nice to see that. Now, of course, the case does have MagSafe and it's got some very nice magnets built into it, and I can't wait to show you guys that. But before we do, let's take a look at all the edges. Starting with the top, of course, completely closed off, and you can get a look at that very nice texture that Caudabe is always improving and is actually one of the main reasons I always go back to their cases. So that's the top. Let's work our way over to the volume and action button side. So you can see that matte black aluminum for those buttons looks extremely nice. Let's go ahead and test out this action button. Very nice and tactile, has just enough pressure to let you know you are actuating it. You're not going to have any accidental presses right there. You are going to enjoy every time you click that button. Now let's go ahead and move down to the volume buttons. And definitely the same can be said for those volume buttons. Very nice, very satisfying to press. Absolutely in love with the new design on these buttons. Now moving over to the bottom, I do want to take some time to appreciate what is going on down here. Of course, Caudabe gives a very nice cutout for that USB-C port, and then you get accurate cutouts for your speaker and your microphone over on the bottom. And something else that I really like about this is they leave it smooth down here. They could just run the texture the whole way, but they don't. And the reason I really appreciate that is because whenever you're holding your phone like this and your fingers down here at the bottom, you don't really want your hand to be digging into any kind of texture, even if it's for grip, anything like that. After a certain amount of time, or any time, it's gonna start to wear down on your finger. You're gonna feel it, it's gonna get annoying. Maybe it doesn't hurt, but you would definitely prefer for it not to be there, which is something I've realized from other textured cases that run the grip all the way along the bottom. So I definitely appreciate that. And just to show you how generous this cutout is, I actually do want to take one of my chargers and just plug it in so that you can take a look at how much extra space you actually have. So when it's plugged in like that, you can see along the edges, top and bottom, you do have some extra space all the way to go around. And this is it's a pretty thick charger. It's an Anker charger up to 240 watts, and I use these pretty much religiously. I love these chargers, so it's huge when I can see that they actually are working with the cases I enjoy to use. So absolutely love that right there. Now, over to the power button side and the camera capture button, or not button, camera control, but okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and test out this power button. And of course, it's just as satisfying as the rest of the buttons. Again, same anodized aluminum right there. Super nice to see that. And then of course you do have a decent cutout for that camera control. I would say it's actually very nice. I've tried a bunch of cases. I'm still in between whether I prefer the cutout or the actual kind of little assistive touch or button thing that case makers are putting in. I still don't know what to call it, but I think I prefer the cutout, and I actually really enjoy this. I like the fact that I can feel my actual phone through there, and it's generous enough to give me full control, but not so much to where I feel like I'm sacrificing any protection right there. So I can definitely appreciate that. Now, of course, let's go ahead and move on to those MagSafe tests. You already know how we're gonna go ahead and start, and it's going to be with the Spigen OMag grip. This is going to be a grip and stand in one, and let's just go right for it. Snaps on just like that, and of course, Caudabe being Caudabe, they are not going to skimp out on magnet strength at all. You can see, oh, there we go. It took me spinning the entire phone just to get it to fly off. That is not going anywhere. As a stand, you can see tapping away at it. Yeah, that is never going to come off your phone. Even just getting it to fall off like that is going to be a task. So I would not worry about using this phone with a grip. Now, moving forward, we're going to go ahead and test out some wireless charging, as well as a little bit of strength with the Apple MagSafe charger. Mine just has a leather cover on it. So let's go ahead and snap this on. Of course, snaps on just fine. Wirelessly charges perfectly. And let's see about that strength. Definitely some very nice adhesion right there. And something I do want to point out. Actually, let me go ahead and pull this leather case off for you guys, just so I can show you how close this really comes to the camera lip. It is almost right up against it. You have almost no space in between there. So definitely nice to see that this specific battery pack is going to fit perfectly with this case. If you have anything bigger, I would be careful about it, but I feel like this is something that all us pro users or regular, actually no, mainly the pro users because of the bigger cameras, are pretty well aware about. So just something to keep in mind. But let's go ahead and do some false drops. You can see it kind of losing itself right there, but I am hitting it pretty hard. I don't think this is something that would actually fly off unless it's a pretty major drop. Okay, I did get it to fall off there, and no, we're still good. It does kind of lose itself, but it doesn't actually want to fall off. So I would still definitely be very happy running this combo. Now, moving on to our third, and what is actually one of my most important ones to me, is going to be the leather wallet or MagSafe wallet test. If I can't trust my case, oh, we didn't get the animation. If I can't trust my case to hold on to my wallet for me, it's just not a good case for me. So here I can definitely tell you, going in straight into some false drops, this is not going to be an issue. Same thing with the Apple battery pack. I can kind of get it to lose itself, to get like loose, but it's not going to slip off. I definitely trust this case to be one of those that I drop with my wallet, and I'm not even gonna look for it. I know it's gonna be stuck on right there. Same thing over here. You can see we actually have a decent amount of more, well, a little tiny bit more space right here. So you don't have to be as careful. And I wouldn't say it's as grippy as the battery pack or the grip, but of course this is leather. It's not any kind of silicone or rubbery material, so it's to be expected for sure. And now we have one more MagSafe test. Of course, you guys may already know what it is. We're going to bring in the Nomad Base One. This is I think they said it was a 2-pound. I always forget how much it weighs, but it's freaking heavy, all right? It's glass, it's metal, rubber, a full MagSafe puck integrated into it. Like, the thing is heavy. Like, if I drop this on my desk, you will hear it, all right? So let's go ahead and test it out. If this case can lift this base, you know that the magnets are no joke. So let's just go straight forward. Of course, it's not plugged in, so we're not gonna get any current, but just for weight, let's test it out. I'm only going to be touching the edges of the phone here, nothing else. So let's pull it up. And yeah, I really wasn't worried about this one. It's going to hold up the stand just fine. And yeah, we can pretty much just turn this whole thing around. This is the stand and the cable, so it's actually heavier than any time I've done this before in the past. And you can kind of shake it off, but think about what I just did. Look at this. This is pretty much Yeah, these magnets are definitely some serious ones, and it takes me shaking to drop this entire base off. So definitely gets a pass from me when it comes to MagSafe strength. Now, before I call it a day, I do want to go ahead and throw on these other ones for you, just so you can see what the black phone will look like inside of these. And this video is getting a little long, so let's go ahead and jump through this very quickly. Now, this is one of my other favorites. Check that out. Black iPhone 16 Pro with the gray sheath on top of it. A beautiful case. Of course, these buttons are color matched, so whatever sheath you get, you will get the matching buttons. They're not all just black or plain silver or anything like that. The attention to detail that Caudabe puts in is always incredible. So that'll be that one. And let me go ahead and toss on this blue one for you guys. The blue one, when it first came out, I wasn't a huge fan. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of blue, but it did kind of grow on me. And this one has definitely been seen on my phone before. Of course, you do get to see those blue buttons. And the fit and everything is going to be pretty much identical with all of these guys. They are the same model, just a different color. So that is what it's going to look like. Now that'll be it for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy the sheath. It's one of my absolute favorite cases. And let me know down below if you guys would rock the blue, gray, or black. That is it for this one. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.